Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to come live and try out this super cool new technology. I hope you're having a fantastic evening tonight. I'm not going to be able to see all of your comments, so please make sure you leave them and I will come right back into the group to answer any questions you have as we go. Tonight's topic is something that's really close to my heart because when I first started this crazy journey, I was an okay weight and okay. We were happy enough. I had four small children. I ate really overall pretty healthy. My kids ate a pretty healthy, diverse diet. And while all that was true, Shabbat was not the most pleasurable thing ever. But I didn't know that was weird. I didn't think that was abnormal. To me, that was the experience that everybody was having on Shabbat. Little kids running around, overeating, feeling overstuffed and unsatisfied Saturday night, waking up Sunday morning, feeling like, well, okay, you'll just have to eat less this week. And then when there would be an opportunity during the week to go to a wedding or go to a bar mitzvah or go out for a date night, I always knew that that meant like things were just going to keep going in the wrong direction. At that point, I don't think I even owned a scale. Everything was just kind of mediocre. I mean, it didn't seem like I was any worse off than anybody else. When I would get together with my friends, everybody was complaining about what they were eating on Shabbos. Everybody was complaining about the challah. Everybody was also swapping recipes for the best desserts, even though we were, give us credit, over the kugels and only eating like roasted vegetables with tons of spread and stuff like that. So I really didn't know that my experience was unusual. And I didn't know that it was unusual or that I wasn't the only one dissatisfied, that my kids were a little dissatisfied, that my husband was a little dissatisfied until we were actually sitting in parents therapy. One of my daughters was going through getting a celiac diagnosis, and she was acting out in school, and the kindergarten teacher recommended that we go to parents therapy. And in parents therapy, what came up was our Shabbat was really stressful. I mean, during the week, there was like normal stress, but neither of us knew how stressful Shabbat actually was. And my husband really thought that Shabbat should be about couple time. And to me, Shabbat should really be about family time. And that was the first time I even had a glimpse that a different kind of Shabbat was possible. What I bring and why I think this course is so incredibly valuable is that when we start to look beyond the status quo of the same complaints that we share every week to week, and we start to ask, are there people who are doing this differently? Are there people who are leaving Shabbat feeling excited about the week to come? I mean, even during Corona, I was feeling crazy anxiety as Shabbat was leaving because of the week to come. And I had to start asking some tough questions. I made improvements at that point, and I started to change how I ate. I had started to change my mindset, the way I related to food, the way I related to my body, the way I related to Shabbat, but I wasn't quite there. And it took another 18 months of real work for me to get to a place where our Shabbat is like nothing I've ever experienced before. That doesn't mean that there's not fights at the Shabbat table sometimes. We're a family of five kids with ADHD, and it's definitely challenging, especially because many of my kids are not medicated on Shabbat and they are during the week. So there's all kinds of challenges. But how I feel leaving Shabbat has been completely transformed. And I've seen as I've started to work these principles with other people, how it's transforming things for them. So what does this have to do with stopping weight gain? Well, as a woman, we're so busy taking care of everybody else. We're so busy making Shabbat special, making the food. I do know some husbands cook, but directing the food, making the menu, making sure it's there. The house has to be clean. We have to be done with work. We have to entertain the kids. There's fighting. There's all family tensions, money tensions about the cost of Shabbat and for having guests or not, and how clean the house is, and why isn't there more organization, and how come more people aren't helping? And it gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, I'm getting anxious just talking about it. And so the easiest way for us to calm ourselves down is to eat. And so Shabbat becomes this place of waking every week. I cannot tell you how few women I have ever spoken to who didn't think that that was just normal, right? I mean, like everybody gains weight over Shabbat. But guess what? There's a whole section of the population who that is not true. They use other tools to handle the challenges that they face over Shabbat. And their Shabbat gets better and better and better because of it. Really interesting, right? And I found this hard to believe. And so I really had to go put myself through the process and try all of these things out and find what are the key areas that I address in this program that really helped me to go from literally Shabbat being a disaster, but I thought it was like good enough. Like really in retrospect, I really wasn't happy. I wasn't happy going into it. I was overeating during it, and I really didn't feel great after it, but I still looked forward to it every week. I don't know. That's the truth. We're complicated people. So how did this come back to weight? Was that when I realized that I started taking control of my relationship to food and not using food, getting other tools and learning how to deal with my emotional eating, which we're going to cover, I didn't have to be like super crazy mindful or excessively disciplined or deprive myself of things that I love. But I had to get really clear about self-respect, about leaving my emotions around other things where they belong. But I get kind of emotional around food. I kind of love food. So it's okay to have a little bit of my emotion be about enjoying the food I'm eating. I put way more effort into my Shabbat food than I do during the week. And I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy that glass of wine with my husband. I want to enjoy a really great dessert. I want to feel like I'm replenished and nourished and relaxed. But I can't only get that with food. So as we go through the process of the blueprint in 5 different ways, we're going to start to unravel the weight gain from Shabbat. And what's going to be left is really loving your reflection, because every week you're going to be getting closer to your divine purpose. You're going to be getting closer to really connecting in your relationships. You're going to get closer to entertaining friends and being entertained without the food and weight stress. I've been talking to a lot of you guys lately, and it's funny because one of the biggest concerns was, I don't think I'm going to have time to do this course. Well, each module is broken down into hour sessions, and then each session is broken down into 15-minute parts. So that really you only have to do 15 minutes a day, and you can divide it up as often as you want. I mean, implementing these things we always know is more complicated than learning them. And so what I really wanted to do was make sure that for each assignment on each module, on each of the 5 modules, I would be available for email coaching and support to give you feedback. And we'll have the Facebook group to be able to walk you through. One of the coolest things about these 5 areas of Shabbat is that each one doesn't just help you stop weight gain, which is awesome. Because when we stop weight gain, we get to spend our week on whatever really matters to us. There's no, I have to take Shabbat in the negative way into my week. I have to deprive myself more in the week. If I'm not at a weight that I feel comfortable at and I'm kind of in a weight loss zone, then I don't want to have to be playing catch up first 3 days of the week. I want to be making progress to my goals so I can just stop losing weight and move on with my life. If you're already in a good weight and you're happy, then even more so. You have so many opportunities during the week where you really want to feel your best, and why waste the first few days of the week, which we really take for granted. I cannot tell you how many people I've spoken to where it's just standard that Sunday, Monday, they're like detoxing from Shabbos, and they don't realize how much energy that's actually taking up from your life. Every time you go to get clothes out of the closet on Shabbat, you're one opportunity to really get dressed up and you feel uncomfortable in your clothes. I can't tell you how many hours of my life I can never get back that I have sat in front of my closet on a Shabbos with all my clothes all over the bed and feeling so frustrated that there's nothing that I feel good in to wear. And that my kids have seen that. Where now they see me take clothes, and if there's clothes all over my bed, it's because I love fit clothes now, which I never loved before, and I can't decide what I want to wear, and I'll ask for their help, and it'll be playful and fun and adventurous. So stopping weight gain is really important to having an ideal weight, because your ideal weight isn't any number, specific number. It's going to be different for everybody. It's going to feel different on everybody. Your ideal weight is the weight that you can just stop worrying about weight anymore. You feel good and you're able to move on to actually working on the rest of your life. So, what are these 5 areas that are going to make this huge change possible? So, the first one is going to be understanding the process, understanding what it means to be willing to move beyond mediocre. You probably don't settle for mediocre in many areas of your life. So why settle for it in the spiritual battery pack of your entire life? I mean, you deserve better. So getting your head right, understanding what you're here to do and what exactly is going to be expected of you. That's always important. I always feel overwhelmed until I see everything laid out really clearly. Then we talk about how you go into Shabbos. And we've talked about that in the group a little bit before, but we really dive deep into breaking down for you what are all the things we need to work on to have an amazing entrance to Shabbos, where we're able to put down all the baggage from the week and really be present and enjoy, like on a real deep level of enjoyment. And how we're able to make that quality time with kids who need it because we're not so depleted and exhausted from the week. Really, really important. So we're going to tackle basics of time management. We're going to talk about delegation. We're going to talk about learning what really makes you happy and the ability to let go of control over everything that doesn't matter. Now, as you can see, these principles, once you put them in place on Shabbat, it's like the battery pack for your life. Once your Shabbat feels better and you have these tools, you can apply them elsewhere, right? You can apply them into the week too, So it's something that really we're focused on Shabbat, but of course, you can take this into your week and upgrade your whole life. Then we're going to talk about what are the basics of good nutrition. What makes you feel nourished and replenished versus calorie restriction, which makes you feel depleted. And the last thing we need to do is be depleted over Shabbat. That's what the week does. Over Shabbat, we want to feel incredible and abundant and happy and excited and satisfied with our food. Then we go into your family situation on Shabbat, everybody's family. We want not just to help you be healthy on Shabbat, but if we're going to be at your ideal weight where you're not worried about dieting anymore, like forever, then you want to have a legacy of health and nourishment and positivity around food for your entire family. So I have a very special guest who runs that session with me, amazing nutritionist. And you're going to get to meet her in the program. And she really talks about the relationship to food with our families. We have an amazing discussion about what you can really do to create a healthy legacy in your home without pressure or stress or forcing. Imagine what a release it would be as our kids are getting older to equip them to make great decisions for themselves without forcing it on them. I mean, just for me, that creates so much mental space and pride and just excitement for the future. So then comes, you can't have Shabbat without entertaining, right? I mean, I know we've had Corona, but I love spending time with friends on Shabbat. At this age, between 35 and 45, 50, who has time to really see friends during the week? I'm at work, I'm at home, I'm with the kids, I'm at kids' activities, I'm at events or weddings or things, but I'm not really getting to spend time with good friends. And I'm not like a big party person. I like intimate gatherings, which means we're sitting around the food for a very long time. So learning how to be an elegant host and really have an amazing experience hosting your guests where everybody leaves really with a positive experience and you leave with a positive experience and your whole home has a really positive Shabbat attitude, which is, you can't get more Abraham and Sarah and hosting. You can't have a Shabbat program if we don't talk about entertaining. And we also don't talk about how we can feel as a guest. People pleasing for us women, especially at this area of life where we get so few time with our friends. We don't want conflict. I mean, I don't have time to make new friends. I got to be nice to the friends I currently have. And we really want to be sensitive to each other and we want to make the other person happy. So, how can we be the kind of guest we want to be at someone else's home, but still stay true to that ideal weight place where I'm not going to take any resentment or negative emotions into the week because I felt poorly when I left this person's house. I want to be excited to go anywhere and feel free to make choices that empower me no matter where I go. And I want that for you too. I want you to feel free to go to anyone's house, any friend for coffee, and not wonder how you walked out of there eating 12 cookies and being frustrated that should you or should you not eat dinner now. We've all had that in our mind before. So I want that to be able to like free up that mental space so you are excited about the coming week, no matter what challenges you're facing. You feel nourished or replenished that no matter what challenges are happening outside of Shabbat, that God is on your side and that you're ready to face them head on. The next point that we're going to discuss is transitions. Transitions are one of the hallmarks of Shabbat. You know, we transition with the candles into Shabbat. We transition into the morning prayers. We transition into the special afternoon prayers. We transition into another meal that is there in order to help us with the transition into Havdalah, which is that separation into the week. Literally, Shabbat is all about transitions, and it's the perfect place to discuss the transitions of when the time changes and just all those practical things about different kinds of Shabbat experiences. Also, about transitions in our body around this age. You know, perimenopause, menopause, transitions seasonally with how you feel. You might have a natural seasonal affective disorder, and you wonder why all winter or all summer, Shabbat just is never as fun as it is in the other season. So, really learning how to manage transitions with more grace in our lives, the transitions of our kids hitting different ages, because where does all of this come? It all happens on Shabbat. Yes, we feel the difference at our kids' ages during the week when we go from having to take them everywhere to them being able to get around themselves. But when you're sitting at the table every week and you actually pause and you see your kids growing up around you and starting new phases of their life, it's the perfect place to talk about our evolving relationships with ourselves and with others. The last part of the course is really about how you engage with conflict, how you engage with obstacles, how you engage with challenges. Because there's the challenge of how we interact with food on Shabbat, but that's a lot less of a challenge than we think. It's almost always covering all the other challenges. And in the 5 steps of the blueprint, or the incredible 12 weeks of group coaching that I'm beta launching right now, um, we are going to deal with obstacles. We're going to go in there. We're going to talk about what's happening for you and how you can work through it and hold space for you to be present with those emotions and no fake positivity, but also how we can grab our faith and God and the connection between Jewish women and lean into what we can do to move out of struggle and into the really shiny future that we want, that God designed for us. It's waiting for us to take. And we just have to get a little more courageous and put that fear of failure aside to move forward. And I had a lot of fear of failure. I am definitely oldest child, type A perfectionist on myself. And one of the greatest gifts of this whole Shabbat program is God worked on 6 days and rested on the seventh. You get to put it down and let him pick it up and carry it forward for you. And you can take a little bit of that energy into the week. We're going to have special guests talk about marriage. We're going to have special guests talk about finances around Shabbat in the group coaching. I'm really excited about those aspects. And we're going to have Q&A for you to really share with each other everything that you're going through. So in that final module about challenges, I'm going to give you the tools that you can practice over and over again to start to manage your emotions and to start to realize exactly what you need to look back on when things aren't working. Because just like we said, things are constantly evolving and changing in this process. So I'd love to hear your questions so far on anything we've covered. You can absolutely follow the link and start to look through what each of the modules are. A few things I'm really excited about sharing with you tonight. Because I am officially, it is November 1st, launching the beta group coaching. It is going to be a small group. It's going to be very specific. We have to do a one-on-one call to make sure you're a good fit for it, because I am pouring just so much of myself in here. When I was creating this course, there were so many more things I just wanted to add and add and add. And I realized I wanted to add them specifically as these things came up for people. So some of the topics that we have coming up, as I mentioned, are dealing with money around Shabbos, increasing love and desire and enjoyment in your marriage around Shabbos, more time management talk on Shabbos, discussion of how we can lean more into our femininity and how we can learn to be more calm on Shabbos. These are just some of the things from your feedback that I'm really excited to add to the group coaching in our weekly trainings over 12 weeks. Any questions on that so far, please put them in the Facebook in the comments, and I will come back after this live stream and go check them out. Something people are asking about are prices. So in terms of the price of the Blueprint digital course, you can go straight to the link and you can check that out. It's $197 and it's worth every penny. I cannot tell you that $197 I would pay, and I wish I could have bought this course myself years ago, because the amount of effort, time, coaching that it took me to figure this stuff out on the other side, I just want you to take it seriously and do it, and it will change your life. The group coaching, I really am, I'm not hiding the price, but I really want to I'm only accepting 5 people into this group coaching. So if you want to be a part of it, you have to reach out to me and we have to do a one-on-one call and make sure you're an exact fit for the kind of person. Everything is really going to be tailored to help, so that every time you're having obstacles and questions, that group is going to be super cohesive. For our first beta run, to make sure that it's just the group Q&As, everyone's really going to be on the same page. And though you're going to be from different places all over the world and different levels of observant, perhaps your attitude and what you're coming for is really going to be the same. So that is going to be $497 for all 12 weeks. And I cannot wait to get started, because again, when I think about what I know is coming, 12 weeks of coaching, plus the course, plus the group, plus all of the email contact, really helping you go through and implement and implement and implement, the amount of change you're going to see is incredible. I do offer private coaching, but that is really for elite private who really want personalized service. And everything to truly be tailored to you, with all of my holistic nutrition background and everything that I know to really listen and make every single thing specific and tailored to you on your timetable, and has a lot to do with somebody who's on a longer journey of reaching their ideal weight and really wants a spiritual and holistic approach. So feel free to reach out to me if that sounds like you. Any last questions that I have here that people had sent me they wanted me to cover? Okay, please leave a comment. Let me know what you saw, what you heard, what resonated with you, what touched you in the stories I left here. But I have to share one last thing, because I love a bonus and I really can't help myself. I have so much to give and give and give that I really can't help myself. And I have some bonuses for you guys. Whether you purchase the Shabbat Ideal Weight Blueprint digital course or the group coaching by November 3rd, which is in 2 days from now, by November 3rd, right? So you are going to get my entire Hanukkah cookbook. It is 7 days of 3 recipes a day, a complete menu with pictures, with instructions, with healthy desserts to make every single night of Hanukkah incredible. And most importantly, I really talk deeply about how I invest Hanukkah with a spiritual and amazing family energy. I have pictures of my kids in there and how I raise my kids around food around Hanukkah to have a really amazing relationship with food. Because Hanukkah is such a time where there's the chocolate candies everywhere and the donuts everywhere. And I want you to walk around untriggerable. If I want a donut, I'm going to eat a donut. And if I don't want one, they're not calling my name. I can't tell you how many times I remember walking through and already they're out calling to me. They don't call to me anymore. If I want one, I eat one. And if I don't, I won't. Same thing with latkes at all those endless Hanukkah parties. If you want to be in alignment with your best self, how you feel amazing every single day of Hanukkah and not bloated from the over oil or feel like you're hurting your health overall. I mean, in Israel, every year they publish a study that people increase their risk of high cholesterol, diabetes, and stroke significantly. That in the like the month of November and the month of Kislev in a way that actually impacts them for 6 months afterwards. So I don't want that to happen to you. So I am giving everybody my Hanukkah guide. Not only that, but I'm going to do a special live training just on Hanukkah for anybody who purchases between now, November 1st and November 3rd. After that, it's not for sale anywhere else. So this is the only way to get it. And I'm really, really excited to share it. And I'm actually speaking live in Rehovot on Thursday. So if you're there, you get to get it too. Any last questions? Oh, the other bonuses. I'm really excited that we actually already created bonus content on Rosh Hashanah and on Sukkot, which is included. And for those people who are in the group program, I already am in talks with Pesach, where we have actually an incredible spiritual guide to Pesach and then work it with a workbook already created. And we have amazing speakers lined up to give you more content all the way through Pesach, because 12 weeks is pretty much from Hanukkah to Pesach. So you're going to go into spring and summer just without this fight anymore, which I'm so excited for you. It's just the most liberating thing. And sometimes I still get thrown back into that place of fear of, is this going to be the week where we're all fighting again about who's cleaning what? Is this the week again that I'm going to get so annoyed that I'm not getting time with my husband? Is this the week again that I'm going to wake up Sunday morning and just not want to get out of bed? And every week that doesn't happen, it was just more and more confidence. Hey, it's okay. It's okay to let go of those old stories. And it's going to be okay for you too, because you're going to be able to let them go and you're going to be able to move on. And I can't wait to celebrate that with you. It is going to be so much fun. It's going to be playful. It's also going to be real and deep and authentic. And I got to go. So I love you guys so much. Love you more. Shabbat Shalom.